What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Duey Entertainment. I'm here with another story time. This time I'm talking about the time I went to Houston. Me and my homie, we booked a trip to Houston about 2 years ago around this time frame. I want to say like it was probably February, pushing March when we really went out there around 2023. And we went through this organization I joined through. That's where we booked our flight from. It was a little cheap little flight. We ended up having a layover in Las Vegas for about 15 hours, so some time out there as well. And then we went on to Houston. I had a pretty decent time. There was a lot of ups and downs on the trip, a lot of funny moments. Got a moment to speak with his family and sit down with them. So stay tuned and I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna start where we actually was getting the flight. We was pretty much on the site. We were seeing other days in which we were going from. I want to say, I think it was like the Thursday or Friday, and then we would come back on a Monday. Now, mind you, I had online classes, so I didn't necessarily have to be in person for my classes and whatnot. So anything I need to do for it, I'll just hop on my laptop and get a little bit of it done, and then I'll just be set. But I was pretty much ahead with my class, so I didn't really necessarily have to worry about it too much. While I was able to pretty enjoy this trip, but for a short time, it wasn't like a week nothing. So then we get ready to pretty much we went at his crib, and then we left from his crib, went to the airport, and then we took an Uber. So I took a bike. I was like to this shit. I think I got a Diddy because I was getting discounts on Diddy and whatnot during that time. I was like just getting it, and so I was just on bike. And he didn't live that far from me. It was like a 20-30 minute ride for me. Thank God I did I actually took the bus. I'm tweaking. I took the bus to this shit, and then we took an Uber there from his crib to the airport, and then that's where we waited for our flight. And then when we hopped on our flight, it was one random moment he made this face, and it was funny as hell. It was like some stank like a motherfucker. I don't know where the fuck I lost that for. If I'm able to find it, I'm definitely putting in this bit, because that shit was funny as hell. But yeah, so we get to the airport. We were on the flight with some dudes we was talking to. One dude, he said he was going nuts for birthday or something like that. He had a birthday little party he was going to or whatever, so he was sliding up. And then got on the flight, flew to Las Vegas. We couldn't take our luggage with us because it was a layover. So technically we weren't supposed to leave the airport or nothing like that. We were just supposed to get on to our next flight. But we ended up going to a hotel. We had booked a hotel beforehand as well. It was a hotel that was right above a casino. It was a casino like in this first floor area, and then it was on like 54th floor. So we got like the city view of Las Vegas and whatnot. It was pretty decent for that one night, but we didn't have no clothes with us. We didn't have no contingency plan for it. We actually had no clothes to wear and shit. Made time to go to Walmart that's open 24 hours, or CVS or some shit like that, and then get some like one of those kids with some real quick clothes, and then we'll just be chilling. Cause when we ended up doing was we got up, we went to the strip. They call it the strip, where they got a bunch of stuff going on. And it looks like a zip line that's above it. It's a big zip line. I think that's 2 levels too. It's the first level, and then you got like that upper level. And the time we went, it wasn't active. Like nobody was on the zip line. I don't know if it was either 4 hours or if it was just that type of day. But yeah, we slid there. There's a lot of casinos in Las Vegas. Never thought I'd be able to just kind of witness that. I'm walking around like, damn, it's a casino. Y'all mother got money when y'all come out here. So that was a good experience to see. We hopped on the VR. We was supposed to be on like this roller coaster, but times 3, times 4. Like we was in like some Jurassic World type of environment, and we just roller coasting through the bit and it was shade, and so we had a VR, and then we shaking with them too. So it was like a real immersive experience that they pretty much let us do like 2 for a discounted price. They like to really hustle up there. Like we wasn't really too interested at first, but then he threw a deal where it was like, all right, we can make that happen. Let's go ahead and give it a try. And he was real geeked to have us do that. We were just going through the works. He we happy for it. We just like, shoot, this was fun. I mean, but it wasn't all that, but it was definitely interesting. There was somebody next to us who was overly loud. She was screaming like it was really that for her. I'm looking like, damn, I didn't know we could get that real for us, but that definitely did for it. I think she was going through like jumpy thing, like that VR version. She was like being into like a giant slingshot that'll launch you in the air, and then you'll be landing back to the ground just to go back up. That's what it looked like from the TV screen, because I guess he able to see what she see too, and we was able to. But, and so pretty much went through the strip. I stopped at a pop-up shop. I got me a little book to show that I was at Las Vegas. And so that was kind of that. We went back to the hotel, kind of chilled there for a minute, slid back to the airport, waited for our flight, hopped on the flight. Boom, now we finally in Houston. After that 15-hour long time at Las Vegas, we finally hit. So we get off the flight, we walk to our luggage, grab our luggage. We got the location because we had got a rental for a trip. And so I think it was through that Turo or some shit like that. So we pretty much hopped in the Uber, drove to the location that was specifically directed in the app where we supposed to meet up at the location. So we put that specifically into the GPS for the Uber to pretty much drop us off at. So they drive us 20 minutes out to some like remote area. So it was like a plaza with a bar and a couple of other stuff, and they dropped us directly in front of the bar. I guess that was the address. We wasn't even sure because they was looking at the GPS like, where do I turn in? Technically, they was supposed to have turned earlier than when we arrived at that bar, but because it wasn't no visible area to park, this was kind of like a farmstead type of area. It's no real road to travel on, so it was like off-road down there if we tried to go in that area. So we like, shit, I guess we'll go over there so it'll be out the way. Otherwise, we'll just be in the streets. We'll be just dropped off in the street. So we get dropped off over there. We trying to look for what the car had. Maybe they just got parked some. And so now we standing in front with all our luggage in front of this open bar. It wasn't like the door was just the area you go in. No, you can walk in through the whole front. It was just open. It was a dog just sitting there chilling, and then it was just a bunch of people just sitting there gossiping. And we sitting there confused as fuck. Cause where this car at? Why is this open bar so fucking open? Why is they staring at us? Where is this? It was so many questions. So we called the lady. We trying to get in touch with the lady. It's ringing. This dude come up to us. He like, y'all want a beer? What? Who are you? Like, what the fuck? We just got here. We already. So we like, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't here. My homie heard his ass and ignored him. But me, I ain't the type to just like have somebody talk with me and I'm just looking at him. Like, that's awkward to me. I mean, I didn't hear him specifically, so I really just was like, what did you say? Because maybe he was like gonna give us some directions. Like, oh yeah, y'all supposed to cross the street or some shit. That would have been pretty convenient. So I'm like, what? He like, y'all want a beer? Oh, no, we good. We straight. Walked out. So we ended up finding out we had to walk back the other direction to where the car is, and then did the exchange, got the keys. Boom! Now we finally moved. We finally been somewhere. So now we could drive through Houston to this Walgreens. We stopped at this Walgreens, got some toiletries, if you will, and then we slid to the hotel. My homie was a little hungry, and so it was probably like, I want to say, because Chicago time, Houston time is the same. So my people's time, it was the same time. So it was around like, I want to say 9 o'clock-ish, 10 o'clock-ish, where we finally moving around, getting some places and shit. And so we definitely left the hotel, or I went to Walgreens, then went to the hotel, then left the hotel to do something to eat. But we went to Insomnia, so we found this Insomnia. Now Insomnia these to me, I mean, I fuck with some they cookies and whatnot. I really get the salted caramel. I think that's the name of that one. But yeah, so went into he noticed this YouTuber that he kind of knew, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't really be on YouTube myself outside of what I produce and maybe people my homies uploads and things like that. But I don't really just be watching stuff unless it's a tutorial. It's a purpose of what I'm trying to get at. So like he recognized that he like over 100,000 views, pushing almost million or something like that. He talking with him. He pretty much was one of those YouTubers that do pranks that like pretend they was borrowing your phone to get a call because they in an emergency, and then they just break your shit, but it wasn't technically their phone, or they'll do some other shit where they'll get them brand new phone. I don't know how they do it, but some shit like that, and that's what he do. And he told me, I thought it would be funny to say some shit, and I didn't realize until I said it, like, damn, that blows his head, because he was like, you trying to take a flick or something? And I was like, damn, we ain't showering no shit like that. And he like, damn, we just got off the flight and shit like that, we've been dealing with it. You know, I'm down, I don't mean how you crashing out, like, I don't look, no problem, no shit, I was really just tweaking over here, you know, it's late night, but, you know, I ain't really mean no harm when I said that shit, and folks didn't really take no heed to it either. It looked like he was chilling as well, so we ended up doing that encounter, we got our stuff, we got back in the car, we got to the hotel, we finally relaxed and found out that this hotel it's really a motel, and this motel only had one bed, so we was trying to go on a budget, and that budget brought us into these different kind of beds, where we get dropped off in front of a random bar, we have a 15-minute hour later with no, you know, way of getting our clothes and whatnot, you know, no way to shower, no shit, we motherfucker in a motel with only one bed and a couch, it was that I tried to go to them and ask, like, I got another room with a 2-bed or something, he like, nah, everything booked, damn, so we stuck. I think the first night I slept on the bed, and then the remaining nights I just slept on the couch. I said, fuck, it don't matter. So when we had a kind of itinerary, a few shit we were gonna do throughout the trip. So the next day it was this party that was happening. It was a pool party. I didn't realize how big this pool party was until I was in the bit, where I was like, oh, this is celebrity level pool party. Cause I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a pool party. I've never been to a pool party. I thought it like that, you know, on some high school stuff. You know, something you would find because friends know somebody. But this public, it turns out that party was hosted by Big Boogie. It was a Big Boogie party, and I ain't really into like hip hop artists, popular hip hop artists, and you know, celebrities like actors and such like that, because it's not something I grew up entertained by per se. Like I was more so into sci-fi movies and things like that. And even then, I never really got into the specific actor's name and you know their storyline, how they became this actor. Like, that's something that never intrigued me. So I'm really going in this kind of lost in a sense of, you know, familiarity. As far as faces and stuff. Like my only rating out all these YouTubers, celebs, you know, all this, and me, I'm in there just really vibing out. So that was one of the parties we was about to slide to, and I wanted to see if you had to pay for parking, because we could have done that park somewhere 5 minutes away, like walking distance. Like we would save the location of where we parked and then walk to the location. But then when I called, the person was overly aggressive, you know, made me seem like I was, you know, asking a very simplistic question, and I was more so leaning to, well, if there is available parking, because that was my first question. I was like, is there parking? And then they went off, and I'm like, damn. Alright, never mind. Once they answered, I was kind of left for that day. That part, just me asking that alone took about 5 minutes, because they was like, what you say? And I was like, do y'all have parking? And then it was like a pause, and then they was like, yeah, we got parking. And then I'm like, alright, and that's why I had left that at, because of that exchange. So then we get turned out the parking was about like $25 on cash out, threw the bread for that. They went into the parking. I wanted to try to vlog the whole thing, but they weren't allowing people taking bags, so I threw that right back into the car, came back, and was kind of locked in for the pool party. I mean, shit, we was in line, and it was these dudes. I think they was in front of us, behind us. I never forgot where the position was, but they was from out here in Chicago too. They was just they moved out there, I think, for new opportunities and such. They pretty much were just going to the same party as well. So that was a random connection we just made, just, you know, standing in line waiting. It was this van that pulled up, and it was like, I want to say 10 to 15 girls just hopped out, and I think they had like VIP access or something like that. Like they just came out that bit and was ready to lock in too. You know, like, damn, what type of party is this? Because the prices kept going up. Originally, I booked it for like, if you come in 2 hours early or something like that, at between these specific times, it's free, and then after that you gotta pay a price. And so originally I was hearing it was $60 for the males, and females I think $40 or something like that, or less, free in some cases. I get up to where I'm getting in, and it's $80. Damn, just to get in there, man, I'm already in line. I was waiting 10, 20 minutes, pushing 30 minutes for this, because it was getting dark. It was definitely a good minute I'm standing up. So I get there, I threw the bread in. So now I'm in there, and it's overly crowded. Oh, damn, ain't nowhere to step in this bitch, nowhere to stand in this bitch, nowhere to put my shit in this bitch. Like, how do you have a venue this packed and still admitting more people? Oh, damn. Every booth, everybody standing somewhere. The pool, there people in the pool too. People waiting for food, people waiting in the bathroom. Oh God, damn. I ain't gonna lie. I've been in spaces where it was a surplus of people, so it wasn't something I wasn't used to. I definitely had been in spaces where they overly packed and you gotta maneuver like a motherfucker. So I'm just, alright, just get through this bitch. So I'm moving around. I pretty much scouted the whole area from top to bottom. I just kind of walked through the whole. It was a small space to begin with. It's kind of built like a square, so I just walked the square like along the line. It was an area I was able to put my stuff, and it was just untouched, and so that was nice. I was able to go back and forth. This was more towards the end of the party. Beginning, my homie was really watching our stuff. He was just standing on the sidelines, or talking to whoever was amongst the crowd. But me, I was in the water. I'm overly teased. I'm in that water, like really just having a ball. They had beach balls in there. They had floaties in there. They had other little kind of fun little toys to play and items, I guess you would say, pool accessories. And I'm in there just dancing to the music in the water. People around me straight dancing. There's hella women in the pool. I'm just in her, and it wasn't that many people in the water. It was just one thing I was really worried about. Like, what if they just decide, what do I do? That was the biggest, thing I was thinking about throughout that whole party. Just like, I was thinking about this shit. I'm ready. What the fuck? This shit can get critical out of nowhere. I don't know why the fuck I was thinking that shit, but I guess because it was my first time in body of water with a lot of other people around. If it's 5-on-1, what the fuck do I do? I'm supposed to have to jump up and jump on somebody. Great, no fuck. You gonna take me too? You gonna come with me? Shit fucking me up, but yeah, I was in that water for a very long time. I ain't gonna lie. Pointing my fingers, had the little shrivels and shit. Got to a point I was one of the last motherfuckers in the water. Like, motherfuckers gone inside in the after party, whatever that was. I feel like if I really wanted to, I probably could have slid in that motherfucker just on some real cool shit, just cool. And if I had to throw the bread, we throw the bread. But that was just interesting. Cause it was this one part where I was in the water. I was trying to get this floaty because by this time I ain't never been on the floaty. Everybody had it already when I got in. So I didn't get the chance to get on like the floaty because I don't think I ever just in my life sat on the floaty. I mean like a lifeboat, like one of the lifesaver thing. I definitely had them. And the vest too help you, stay afloat. But one of those little relaxing ones, you'll see in a movie where you like your backyard or your mansion or something, and you just chilling in your pool or on those sun gates, if you will, reading a book, just floating around. I never did that one. So it was a girl, she was done with it. Like it was just next to it. It wasn't being used. It was just sitting there. And so I'm approaching like, can I use that? Like I asked her. And she pushed it toward me. It was like, yeah. Then when I'm about to hop on, it was the other girl, she came out the blue and was like, nah, that was her. I had to quit. Like, I misunderstand. Like, what's going on? So the girl who, allowed me to get the flow, she told her, you good. Like, I'm done with it. Whatever the case was. So, okay. I'm around the floor and I'm on the floor and I'm just chilling on that bit. And I was trying to do like one of those boat moves where, when you on the boat, got the engine and that bitch moves. And you can control the speed. So I'm trying to use my legs. Even though there's a little of that pool, so I was really in a very condensed space, just kicking my legs where it wasn't really around people because people were more on the edge. I was one of the few that was in the dead center. I'm gonna show a photo where I was in it, but hella people, I'm gonna try to point out that I was one of the ones that was really in the center, just getting grooved with the beat. Some people would come up. I remember there was another part, we was throwing the ball up and we was catching that bitch like volleyball style. I was in that bitch. Go to another person, they hit it back. Because sometimes wind would take over, that bitch would fly another direction. Out of control, threw it back. We acted too. Tell me I was in that motherfucker. Also, later on, I learned that the girl who I asked the floaty from was the cover Drake's album. And I'm like, whoa, she looked familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint where did I see until it finally hit, which also makes sense why that girl came up, you know, in a sense defended, because she a pretty popular girl, I guess. I don't know to really say much of that aspect, but it was quite interesting that I even got the chance to interact in that way. It was more friendly than anything else. I couldn't even determine if this was a celebrity or not. Hell, anybody near me, to be honest, that wasn't the type of, I guess, oversight, if you will, like that type of way I was looking into my advice, having fun. And then it finally got to a point, Big Boogie got there, and it really got T, because he was on stage jamming. Well, it wasn't really a stage, it was an area he was standing that was like dead center of the stadium. So like with the square, it was at like the upper part of the square, and all the other corners was just kind of looking at it. And so that was kind of that. And I'm still in the water just vibing out. My homie ended up leaving, get something to eat. So I was there by myself, just vibing out. I mean, when I tell you I was really there until the very end, like Big Boogie already left, went inside. It was only a staggered few people. Like it was a big transformation from when I first got there to when I left. Cause it was dark, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking pitch black dark. You know, the sun was out beaming too, you know, like there early afternoon pushing the heat. Shit, he was gone, I was doing other shit, and I'm still just vibing in the water. Like got to the point music stopped playing. I'm just in that. But you know, I ended up leaving. He slid back, hopped in. It was a baseball game happening around that time too, so we tried to leave. It was just a flood of people walking in the street. We just started like, damn, where is they coming from? Shit was interesting, but apparently it was a stadium not too far from where the party was, so it was very congested. We was getting away. So then we slid to this other party. It was a late night lounge area where we found. And when we got there, it was really nobody there but the work. We was there very early. And so the ticket said if you get there between similar to the first part, you get to the venue between these specific times, the ticket is free. And so we was there well before that time, and we just found the booth area because we asked them. We was like, at this ticket here, they told us to sit down and at the booth. Now we already spent a lot of money, you know, from going to the Walgreens to getting something to eat at Insomnia to getting into this party and getting there, paying for gas. So now we get into the venue where we assume it's free, and the security guard out there while we were sitting there, we were sitting there with like 20 minutes, like we said, we were there quite early. So we're telling that we just left from the first party because I had brought spare clothes with knowing that we was going to this. So from the first party to the second one, all I did was just switch out my clothes, and pretty much there I found the bathroom, changing in their bathroom, like we was in this space for a minute. But then the security guard comes, oh no, you have to actually pay for it, and you gotta be able to pay the entry fee. And now we're at the point where we was under the assumption we can actually come in for free. We didn't really have enough funds to actually pay for this. So we ended up leaving. We just left. We were already a long day just from the first part. And so then we walking back. Before then, when I changed my clothes, I put my book bag back in the car. So I first leaving with the little bag to the place. I changed in the place, and then I walked back to the car, put my items in the car, and then went back to the place. And so then we chilling, and that's when the security guard came up. During that time, when the security guard was talking to us, and we were sitting there chilling, someone decided to break into the passenger side window, shattered it, and got into the car, took my book bag. I guess that was just it, just the book bag. There was no really other missing items. The very prominent thing was the fact that the window was broke, and this was a rental car. And so, you know, we walked back, you know, and before I mention that, I remember I saw a dude on a bike when I was putting our stuff back in the car. It was a dude on a bike, but then I also remember it was other dudes who we walked past. I don't think I walked past them by myself. I probably did. There was a group of dudes that I walked past to get to the car, and then there was also this dude on his bike. So it was a few different individuals I saw. I don't know how they knew which car it was, but I think the dude on the bike knew because he saw me leaving from it. But the other group of dudes, I'm not sure if they was prospective suspects. But yeah, I had my Apple Watch in that bitch. I had my slides in there, my keys was in that book bag. And they snatched that bitch. And so we walk into the car, and I'm looking. I'm like, why is that glass on the ground? One of the first things I noticed. But then I looked in the window. It's broke. Homie come in and stick his whole head in the car. He like, oh shit. Shit got real quick as hell. I'm in this bitch like, what the fuck? My whole book bag man, so I look in the back seat, motherfucking book bag gone and shit. Then my whole book bag motherfucking missing. I ain't touching my shit. We ready to crash shut off. What's going on in this bitch? It was a security guard lady. She was like around the corner. I think I peed. So I went up to her. I asked, like, you able to get access to these cameras to be able to determine who was the potential individual that actually took my items? They wasn't really like one of them type of security that kind of residential, officers or whatever the case that patrols. When I was trying to see if she was able to identify the person in question, she told us to call the police. And of course, we did that. And then we ended up having to go to the station to give, I think, a statement or something like that regarding that the incident. Then we had to utilize our insurance plan we had with the app we had. We was using that definitely surprised the fuck out of us. Like, I got the whole footage of how the car looked and shit. You done that me in the background, like, what the fuck, tweaking out. Cause then we just left this decent party and it's just been turning events after turning events, but we kept going. Like, shit, we ain't gonna let this stop. Get this shit and gonna make it happen. So we ended up going to the police station, driving with this no window, knocked the glass, whatever glass we could. I don't think we sat in the front seat at all. I think we only sat in the back, and I was the one driving to the police station, getting on the report and whatnot. Then they asked, did you want to press charge? And I immediately said yes. It didn't even hesitation. I'm not even the type of use legal matter. These are issues personally, but it's available. I guess I utilize the resource. Yeah, I definitely wish that I was able to somehow figure out who it was so I can get my stuff back. Cause I have to get my keys remade. I don't even got the Apple Watch no more. Right now I don't have it. So I couldn't get it again. It's crazy, but yeah, they had that shit happen. We ended up going back to the hotel. And shit, we just kind of slept it off. We calmed it down as people called and shit, talking with them. I ain't really calling nobody or shit like that. I just said, fuck it, we gonna get through this bitch. I ain't going out like this. So woke up the next day, we called around a few spots. It was this place, I think it was on a Sunday, but it was this place that was open, that fixed windows, like car windows and shit like that, windshields and whatnot. So we hit them up, we found out the price, we split it in half, drove to the place, went in. It was like a little, I want to say truck stop, like let me say next to, it was like a car park, I guess you call flea market or exchange. They were going and they'd be leaving. Sometimes they'd be carrying it together. I think one of them was carrying the whole engine, and I was looking like, what the? They definitely fixed it up, vacuumed the glass as much as they could. They vacuumed as much as they could. It was some areas they couldn't really reach for real. So, but yeah, we was able to get the window back fixed like it was never broke. It still went up and down like it needed to. Yeah, we just went about our day. We ended up going to get something to eat. Cause I speed back up now. We back work, rolling and shit. So we went go ahead, got some gas. Then we got something to eat. Then we slid on his peoples, chopping it up with those cousins, came through it. It was don't way too far. They came through it. We all in that just chilling. Got to a point where we found out it was another little party happening. But you see, I went to try to take my head down by the time this shit started. It was taking a minute, cause while I was in the middle of the room, he was getting ready and shit, locking in for the event, and I'm just in the little area just taking it down, cause I was just gonna walk the floor, but I ended up not finishing in time, so I just had to do that, thinking I could just walk in with that, but they ended up saying I couldn't wear that bitch, so I'm looking like whole clown in this motherfucker, just to define the rest of the whole trip. One little picture, that would have been that picture right there. I was half with the fucking idiot, bro. He did half of my shit. And I'm just sitting there like, damn. But shit, I just kind of tucked away in a little area and just finished it out. I be to that party anyways, and it didn't seem like the type of vibe where they had a dance floor. You could groove and shit. I ended up finding out they do. The area I was at was like a lot of seats and chairs and benches you can see. But I ain't really moved from that motherfucker since I got in. So when I was sitting there, I'm just looking at it, and I ended up looking around like, like, shit, what the fuck y'all doing? And it turned out they had a whole area outside where you could have been. I could have been just standing. I've been out with everybody, but that was pretty decent. His cousin told him about that night too. So we slipped up, kind of, lighting our mood. He ended up leaving again to get something to eat. And so I was just in that bitch chilling. By the time he was coming back, he was done trying to find somebody because it was late night too. It was like 11 o'clock, pushing 12 a.m., 1 a.m. So ended up just shit. We ended up leaving the party. It was a woman outfit. When the worker came out, it was like, you okay? I'm just like, yeah, I'm straight, shit. I'm just gonna work through this. So everybody leaving out. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna bail out too. He was trying to walk to the place that he was gonna eat at. So I don't think he ever took the car. When we parked it, we parked there, remind me of like a lot of areas I find out here in Chicago, and like the suburb areas, where it's like a plaza and it's like a bar across the street. It's this big ass street. You just got like 4 lanes for each direction. So it was kind of like that kind of environment. So we walk across the street, we had to walk a good minute because we parked a little ways away. I think he did. I think that's how it happened. He did take the car, trying to find it, and then parked it somewhere else coming back to the party. Because I think he done eating it. So then he was walking back. I immediately saw him. I was coming out because it was so bad. In the party like that, you gotta walk all the way out. So I'm seeing him cross from the street, boom, walk that thing, walk back to the car, hopped in that bitch, and then shit, we just kind of went back to the hotel. When we went to the gas station after getting the window fixed, and we was getting something to eat. We was like a little shop down the way, and there was another little event happening too, like right next to those people walking towards it. And I'm just like, dang, Houston just be busting like daily. Cause on a Sunday, so I go in and they had a little edible or whatever, so I tried that out, but it really kicked in way after I left his peoples. Now I'm driving off this crazy as hell still in my head, half fucked up, and we drive all the way back. And then we get to the hotel. Shit, the food that I had left over, I finished it. I had some jollof rice. That was the first time I had jollof rice with some chicken, and it was real decent. Finished that down, then ended up going to sleep, and we ended up waking up later than we were supposed to, and we trying to rush to get to the flight. I ended up missing the flight before we could do anything. So now we at this airport trying to figure it out, like, damn, how we gonna get back to the city? We just messed our flight. Our flight was like an hour ago or some shit, 30 minutes ago or some shit. And they didn't waste no time. We like, damn, what we gonna do? We sat down, like, trying to figure it out. The person we was talking to, like, you could just try to find another flight passing through and just book that while you still at the airport, and you could just do that. So now we searching, but we hella low on money. We spend bread to get to these parties, spend bread to get food, spend bread to get the window fixed, spend bread, you feel what I'm saying, to sustain ourselves. And now we at the point where we gotta spend more bread, get a new flight. So now at this point, now I gotta make a phone call. Like, this whole trip, I ain't make no phone call, I ain't get none. No people, maybe I had like, people I was cool with, talking with them. I was mostly just texting people, to be honest. But that's when I really had to make a phone call. So, man, so I hit up my sister. I'm like, yeah, I'm stuck in Houston, and I need this amount of funds to book this flight. We found this flight, and we just I need a little extra trying to get me through that home. And she sent the bread through. We was able to book the flight. We got on it. It was through a whole different airline too. We was originally going through Frontier through the whole way, but then we had to use United Airlines. First time on United Airlines, we in there, like the seats comfortable. Okay, it's a little different, but yeah, we ended up getting through that. And so the flight was from Houston to Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and then from Arizona back to the city. So we get on United Airlines, we fly all the way to Phoenix, and then we get there, and we pretty much find where we were supposed to be at, and now we tired. We're like, damn, what we drank? Tired waking up, shit, tired from the shit going on. We in that bitch had a slump. We overheard on the intercom, flight, this, that, third. Oh no, we ain't really hear it. My homie was like, damn, they ain't say nothing about our flight since we been sitting there. What's going on? So we go up ask him. He said, oh yeah, y'all at a new gate, and y'all flight actually about to leave in like 10 minutes. We like, oh shit, we get up, grab our shit, take off. We running flight on that bitch. Oh shit, we gone. We barely know where the fuck we going. We fall on the side. We finally get to where we gonna board that bitch. We shit, get right in line. Cool. Hopped in that bitch. Finally got back to the scene. Now it was late as hell. Airport about to close down. Type shit. So we sitting there, we waiting for the Uber. They taking a hot minute, but we chilling there, holding my stuff, waiting for just on my phone and shit. And then finally, slid back to his shit, and then I slid back home, and it was end of the trip. Shit, that trip was full of different events. From the moment we landed, to the moment we came all the way back to the city. I don't even know, what day was it even. So I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I definitely got more coming. This time I'm gonna successfully vlog my actual second time on with a more structured situation, and hopefully control the environment. But those things I can't control. So until next time, appreciate y'all coming back.